Hello, friends! Welcome to the Movie Recap NL. Today, with your trust, we present the film Sleepless, a war and drama genre released in 2021. After watching the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to support and encourage us. Let's get started. At midnight, a guard woman named Sil broke into the university dormitory and stole some drugs. The next day, the woman came to retrieve the stolen drugs with a man named Yitka and her children Matilda and Nala, along with their guardian Doris Nikita. Suddenly, the car's cassette player fell off on the road, and a police car stopped them. But a second car didn't stop and passed by shadowing them. The children barely escaped drowning and caught fire. Matilda. When they said that word, the entire city was left without electricity. It was like winter for me. The family who went to the clinic was shocked to see the dust gathering there. Some suspected this was a terrorist attack. The clinic saw Doris coming out and learned that some communication devices had also stopped working. During the night, the guard's son also kept his sleeplessness, and together they looked at the falling stars from the sky, realizing that these were actually artificial companions. On the way to the hospital, the guard watched the shadows walking on the street without sleeping. On the way, a man named Kurek, who they met, warned that some sleepless people were trying to sell drugs for money and told Sil that she could buy some and continue her journey. When Sil arrived at the university to get the drugs from the lab, soldiers caught her and she was saved from torture by telling a false story. The Dr. Murphy who came after the soldiers was worried about Sil's condition and explained that at this experimental center nobody could sleep since the recent incident. Oh, they realized they were in my situation. Now I will tell you what I recorded with the microphone. What I recorded was something like a fairy tale. Jill Murphy refused the proposal to join them. Brian instructed Jill to try to sleep, and Murphy emphasized that joining them was good because the end of sleeplessness was death. Jill, however, remembered her daughter Matilda going to school even as she was waking up. When Sil arrived at the shelter, she found no one except Nolan. However, Doris said that Matilda was taken by the monk. They tried to escape the shelter, but Bren took Matilda to the organism center for treatment. But Sil refused. This is where people suffering from sleeplessness started to gather, and a plane was used to separate them. At the same time, the monk relieved Matilda's sleep, and with this way. The girl who could sleep insisted on the miracle of the monk and that everyone would soon return to normal. Doris asked for help for her daughter, who was taken and awakened. They even suggested sacrificing her. At that moment, a hedgehog came and the monk calmed everyone down. People suffering from sleeplessness refused to give Matilda to Sil. The situation began to worsen. Brian said that the scientific center Barbacliat had arrived and that a cure would soon be found. But the monk did not want to do anything with his daughter, which caused a threat to Brian. Because of this, the policeman shot at him. At the beginning of the chaos, Doris took Matilda out from the back door and people chased her. They said Doris would return with Matilda. However, a 5th precinct officer cut off the girl's path. The same man took the documents related to Bren's body found on Nolan and brought them to the investigation center. After some action, Nolan said Matilda should be taken to the investigation center for treatment, but Jill opposed it again. However, if she were healthy again, her son thought it would be better for her to stay alone. Jill then took one of the cars from a nearby garage and left with her children. Near the intersection, Matilda fell asleep and Murphy, who was aware, came from work. The next day, one of the awakened people stopped and shouted for medicine. Sil told his frightened daughter that she needed to learn to live with 3 weeks of treatment. After that, the investigation center was confirmed to be ready to help her. At the same time, prisoners released started to wander around. Seeing this, Sil ran to the stone quarry and saw the car with his daughter asleep inside being taken away. Why were the prisoners coming to take Nolan? Sil shouted and scared them and eventually returned and sat in the car quickly. Sil cautiously followed them and did not stop questioning, and at that moment there was an accident. Taking advantage of the time, Joey took Jill's weapon and got out of the car and saw the burning order. Meanwhile, Nolan revealed on the road the effects of drugs against sleeplessness. Joey returned the weapon to Jill and promised to bring them to the center. While Jill left her daughter at the car, they were forced to store the garbage gathered outside. The savages tortured their people and hung their leaders by their feet to bleed. Sil sat at the wheel and the savages fiercely attacked. The group that barely survived the hell fought back and the savages broke out of the circle. After a short walk, "You will pass, my tongue is tangled. I am rushing." Some soldiers saw their lights and decided to let them pass to this side. After that, they checked the nearby area and made sure no one was trapped, and some started to drink without permission, and the soldiers decided to act to prevent madness. Entering the guard center, Sil silently entered through the back and disguised himself to avoid detection. He saw a woman praying in the neighboring room. The doctor who came there was thinking of taking Sil for a blood test, and seeing the woman's hand, Sil realized he had hurt her many times. Sil promised to help her but asked her to care for his daughter Matilda if everything went well. Murphy, who saw Sil, asked about Brian, and he said that after graduating from the university he came to protect him. Murphy currently brought medicine for sleeplessness but also found a weak cactus to prevent madness. It seemed he had lost hope. Sil, who started crying while thinking about bad things outside, saw the guards and Osmond. Sometimes Nolan and Matilda worked together. When Jill tried to get them back, soldiers caught her. Matilda's sleep was so deep that soldiers did not want to shoot at her. In the morning, it seemed possible to save Matilda's humanity, and she showed a test monkey. Doctors said no method could help her sleep. After that, Matilda took the test and she fell asleep. Murphy came to Jill, who was exhausted from sleeplessness, and said this was a disaster caused by magnetic storms affecting brain cells. Jill left her daughter and begged them, but Murphy did not want that. Meanwhile, DOJ. You passed to the second stage. After the government took over the cinema, children were scared. Soldiers who got electricity started to shoot at them. Matilda saw a woman nearby who was breathing heavily. No matter how much they tried to revive her, it did not help. After that, Nolan also took part in brain activity tests. One soldier lost his mind and started seeing hallucinations, which triggered a chain reaction, forcing other soldiers to hallucinate as well. No one in the building or doctors could help. Sil was freed from handcuffs. Then the soldiers saved Nolan from madness. In the laboratory, one of the doctors who refused to give up on the child hit Murphy's eye. Sil arrived and threatened Murphy with a scalpel because he did not want to do anything with his daughter. The eye injury hurt badly. Sil freed his daughter, but Nolan could not escape and was caught. They thought Nolan was a fish and refused to believe it. Matilda was returning after a defibrillator session. Even though the girls tried to comfort her, she passed through sadness. At the same time, Matilda protected Nolan from anger, but he was not there because he had fallen asleep deeply. The children tried to escape from there. Matilda wondered what it meant. It was revealed that Nolan's heart stopped, but defibrillator help brought him back to life. After that, he could sleep again. Matilda collapsed from exhaustion and died, but the police managed to bring her back to life and she was able to sleep. So to get rid of sleeplessness, the body must be revived. Sil was exhausted from sleeplessness, so the children submerged her in water to force her to die. Then they gave artificial respiration to bring her back to life. That's all. Friends, thank you for watching. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next scenes. Goodbye.